Everybody, how you doing? Saludos, what's cracking? All right. So I seen something today on YouTube that bugged me. The reason it bugged me, it has to do with chicken hawks. Do you know what a chicken hawk is? If you don't, then explain it. A lot of you probably do know what it is, especially when you come from the barrio. In every barrio, there are individuals that will sit there and come to your neighborhood and act like there's something they're not, or um, they turn a homeboy out on getting loaded, turning him into a dolphin, or put a gun in the youngster's hand, go handle some business, go do this, go do that, or I got something for you to do, and this is how to prove yourself, that kind of thing. In other words, a chicken hawk will send a homeboy on a mission, uh, a failure that will start him on a life of failure. Instead of an older homie getting a youngster and telling him, "Hey, homie, leave that shit alone. Don't." I've had a couple. There was one. I'm gonna talk about him. His name was Wedo. I'm not gonna say where he's from, but he was an older homeboy, and he jumped all over me when he found out I had a gun. Like, hey, homie, what the fuck are you doing? And this dude watched me grow up, so he really gave a fuck about me. He didn't give a fuck about nobody else, but he gave a fuck about me. And he's the one that turned me on to these older dudes that do this shit, that are what we call them chicken hawks. At least back in my day, that's what we called them. Okay, so these guys would be in a position and party with the homies, drink with the homies, and tell all these war stories about the homies, but they would always leave them into the wrong direction, into doing the wrong thing, and they walk away scot clean because they didn't do it; they had somebody else do it, right? And that's the way I see today. I seen individuals talking about things that gave the impression that going to prison was glorifying. Being part of the program was glorifying. Being just getting busted was glorifying. Being from a neighborhood and gang banging and being that guy, fucking around and handling your business was that guy. No, I'm not saying it. If you want to go in that lifestyle, more power to you, homie. Handle your business. But if you ever want to have a normal life with a wife, kids, and a future other than prison, then that ain't the route to go. But I see these guys pumping these dudes up for failure, and I sit there and I look at these fools talking, and I'm thinking to myself, do people really listen to them? Do people really believe that these guys are correct? They're leading them in the right way? Do these guys that are talking, these chicken hawks, are they? Do they really believe in what they're saying? I tend to believe not, because you wouldn't have your kids out there doing it, but you'll put somebody else's kids to do it. That's a clear sign of a chicken hawk. That don't get me wrong, there are chicken hawks that will use their own, but for the majority of most part, most chicken hawks will use somebody else that's not going to hurt them in any way, any manner, emotionally, physically, or any other way. They're gonna use somebody that it doesn't matter, that's dispensable to them, because to those chicken hawks, that's all you are, is you're dispensable. You don't matter. So if you picked up a life term, he can turn around and he can tell everybody, "That's right, homeboy. I gave the homeboy the clecha. I showed him how to do it. Whoop de whoop. Yeah, homeboy got life, but homeboy's about that business." See me, I got a homeboy that's done some dirt, but you will never see me go out and tell you guys, "Hey, my homeboy did this," because I'm not trying to take that man's credit. If that fool wanted to do that and be involved in this and that, that's more power to him. But it wasn't for me. And I'm not going to get any glorification because my homeboy did something. I'm the type if judge me on my own merits. Don't judge me on what my homeboys do. Don't judge me on anybody else's business. You judge me on me. But a lot of people, and you can tell the chicken hawks, that they'll talk about their homie. My homeboys did this. My homeboys did that. Trying to get that glorification for themselves as if they did it. They take credit for a lot of things they didn't do. They take credit for others uh, going into that lifestyle or doing something or being about a certain way. And like I said, and throughout my neighborhood, we had quite a few chicken hawks. And maybe because my neighborhood was newer and we were just coming up in the world, in the gang world, that is, uh, we had a lot of chicken hawks pumping us up for failure. Having to do stupid stuff or acting on stupid stuff or telling to do stupid stuff. I had one homie that turned around and got a gang of my homeboys strung out because he was getting too old to run the streets, so he was having the younger homies do it for him. So it was his benefit to get some bunch of food strung out so that he can get a little chip off it too. And that's what's happening. I see it on YouTube right now. I see people pushing that narrative that they never done nothing, never been nowhere, never gonna do nothing. That fabricate all these stories to make it seem as if they're that guy. And those are chicken hawks. Those are guys you got to be careful of. Because they will sell you out in a heartbeat. They don't care about you. You're indispensable. I've said this before. Chicken hawks are all over the place. It's the older guys that tend to want to push you in a direction to do certain things or be a certain way or act a certain way. There's nothing wrong with wanting a better life. There's nothing wrong with wanting kids and a wife and grandkids and a car and a home, going on vacation every year. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you ask a chicken hawk, he has a problem with it. Oh, you got to put in your work before you can get all that, homeboy. It's not the way to go. It's not true. So all you youngsters out there sucking this up, you look at these kind of people and you think, okay, this is the way it's supposed to. No, it's not that way. You, I'm praying and hoping that there's youngsters out there that watch this and say, hey, you know what? Sonny's going to school. I'm going to go to school. I'm going to do it fucking 50 years before that fool did it. Because that's what it's coming down to. Is I'm an old ass man going to college and I'm probably ain't going to get a career out of it because I'm too old. But if you start young and you get yourself invested in school and start to change your life, your mentality, your thinking, it's gonna benefit you in the long run. It's gonna make your life better in the long run. When people don't understand that when you're out there hoobanging, you might feel it's just you, but you put everybody around you in danger. Your wife, your kids, your mothers, your sisters, your brothers, your fathers, your uncles. You put everybody in danger because for a couple different reasons. One, they're going to be there when somebody tries to give it to you. Two, somebody decides they want to take flight on anyone and you get your family jumping in for you. And next thing you know, they're catching a case for you. There's all kinds of different avenues that can happen out of that kind of lifestyle. Just if you want that kind of life, by all means, handle your business, do whatever you have to do. But if you're doing things because you think that's the way it's supposed to be, more than likely you're listening to a chicken hawk. Somebody that just don't care about you and think it's funny that you get strung up, locked up, whatever it may be. Have a blessed one, man.